So the season so far has been great. We've had obviously a couple of school records on a spread across a couple of weekends, so that's always a really good indicator of where the team's headed. Not only that, we have a good number of league leaders right now, which is always a good thing. Obviously, first place in the league is 10 points, and 10 points goes a long way no matter what your team goals are. So yeah, no, we're in a good spot. I think the progress of the season has been good. It was a little tough losing a couple meets along the way due to weather, but I think the kids have reacted really well to it. It gave us some opportunities to race a couple weekends in a row, and having the championship being moved back a week this year has really helped us. It allowed us to rest this past weekend and get some good quality work in last week. So right now we're in a great spot. Obviously, the school records, like I said, are a huge indicator of where we are, and I'm looking forward to see what some of the veterans and some of the newbies can do at the championship this weekend. Yeah, on the women's side, obviously we have some leaders, by events. Obviously, Ariel has had a great indoor season. I think it's been kind of a continuation of what we saw outdoors from her. So what she did in the 100 outdoors has really kind of carried over, and that's been a really nice thing to see, especially being a senior. She's been working hard for the last 4 years, and I think this is where we're starting to see a lot of that hard work start to pay off. So Ariel has a really good shot. Obviously, it's a good conference in the sprints. It always has been. It always will be. So to see her up there mixing it up and obviously leading the league right now, she went back and forth a few times with one other lady in the league right now. So it should be a good battle between the two of them. And then obviously Jess and Kalia have always shown up at the championships. Jess last year winning her first Atlantic 10 championship. So yeah, they've had a decent season so far. They've kind of slowly improved throughout the season, which they tend to do anyway. But they're gamers, so I have no doubts that this weekend they're going to show up and they're going to jump their best so far this year. So yeah, we put a lot of trust into them. And then obviously having Grace, on the role that she's been on for 2.5 years now has been a big help with not only just the points, but with bringing others along with her has been a big aspect. So obviously Grace has some big goals this weekend, and we're going to see what she can do. We're going to use her in a couple different places and try and maximize our points. But for us to have a really good weekend, we're going to need everybody to step up a little bit and get points that maybe on paper we shouldn't have right now, based off of the descending order list, and just honestly scratch and claw for every point we can get. So we'll look to some of the new people at the championship, not necessarily freshmen, but we're bringing a few new faces to the championship, and we're hoping that they can step up and score some points. The men's side is pretty exciting. We have some people very high up on the list, at the top of the lists, in a couple of events. So the two transfer guys right off the bat, Dennis and Darian, have done great this season. They've progressively gotten better and better. Darian's 2 jumps last week were spectacular. I mean, obviously he has a pretty good handle of the league lead right now. So obviously, want to see what he can do this weekend, see if he can go win a championship. That's the priority. And then Dennis as well. Dennis is hungry. He's improved every meet so far. He wants to jump higher. He needs to jump higher. It's been really nice to have his energy kind of injected into the team. So those two guys, I mean, Erica always has her kids ready to jump and run at the right time of the year. She always gets it done. So I have a lot of trust in her, and I have a lot of trust in her athletes in turn. So I think those guys could be a big spark to what we're trying to do. As far as our middle distance guys, obviously Anthony and Nathan are kind of leading the way there. So we're 1 and 3 in the 800 right now. So we're gonna get a little creative with those two and try and maximize the points we can get from them. So there's a good possibility we won't see them going head-to-head this weekend. But the priority still is the same, to come away with some championships. Obviously, we lost the 4x8 indoors last year. We won it outdoors last year. So we want to give a good run and go get that championship back. That's one we haven't had in a few years. The sky's the limit, really. We're gonna go out there, and if each person takes care of their job, then I think we'll have a pretty darn good weekend.